Good morning. I'm gonna insert a short clip in this video, and that's what inspired this quick video, okay? So, sometimes I think that a big help in healing, in fighting, in winning the battle with depression, with anxiety, with trauma, is that you have people around you that are willing to learn and to help. People who are willing to learn the about the disease that you're battling, people who are willing to remember one who you really are and remember and differentiate who you are in that illness. I've battled depression now for maybe 6, 7 years, and I'm getting really, really better. I have to say that, right? But I also notice in moments where I am masking. And masking is when you are around people and you either feel triggered, you feel unsafe, you feel bored, whatever it is. And you kind of switch your mind. So inside of your mind, you're stressed out and you're panicking. But on the outside, you're like this, pretending that you're okay, you're smiling. When I mask, I am not able to talk. I don't want to talk. You could be looking at me and you're talking to me, and I'm just looking back like, do you hear me? Why aren't you talking back? Eventually, I want you to walk away from me and leave me the fuck alone. That doesn't usually happen. So, in certain situations now, my younger brother and I just saw that. Like, I just, not so, but I saw it in a video and it kind of clicked in my head like, oh, that's what he's doing. And I saw other times when he has stepped up like that in my memory now, and I'm like, oh, okay. So we're at my niece's graduation, and I am very frustrated already because the way in the which we went there or had to be there was very manipulative. And when I feel manipulated, I feel like, let's go, right? I don't want to smile with you like you just orchestrated a whole game to play with people, and that's very disrespectful to me. So already I don't want to be there. I'm pissed off. I'm frustrated. I am there because it's my niece and I love her and I chose to be there for her. So I'm not gonna go off. I'm not gonna curse your ass out. I'm gonna just for 3 hours and then get in my motherfucking car and go home. In that state, if you address me, I don't have the ability to respond. And if you keep pressing me to answer, it's gonna get verbally aggressive or physically aggressive. So in this clip that I watched, my younger brother can tell that I'm masking. People are asking me questions. Are you recording a video? What are you doing? Are you taking pictures? Did you take my mom asked me, did you take a picture? Are you taking a video? And I nod. And then my older brother in the background says, I don't know, it looks like she's doing it's between French and Bassa, which is my tribal language, so you might not understand everything that is said in that video if I put the whole clip. But at some point, my younger brother says it's a video. And then if you watch the whole video, at some point he taps me on the head. One, it's not like a smack, no, it's like, hey, why aren't you answering? But it's also a way of saying if you are leaving your body, if you're starting to dissociate, I just physically tapped you, come back, right? But he steps up in response and say, no, we're doing a video. No, this is what is happening. And these moments are moments that I like to look back on because I can say thank you to in myself, but to also go and thank him when I see him later. Here's why. When intrusive thoughts come up and say nobody has your back, you always have to battle by yourself, I can say you are lying. I have a video of my younger brother speaking up in my place because I couldn't verbally unstick my jaw and talk. These are also something that is called quiet love. Quiet love are those little things that people do for you because they love you on a daily basis, on a very routine way that you don't even distinguish. I'll give you an example. There's this guy I'm talking to. It's been almost over a year, but for like 7 months in that year, we stopped talking. He reappeared recently. Don't know why, but he's just here, honestly, putting in the work, right? And the other day, he made a comment where he was like, now that you're on vacation, I think that you need to find like something to do. And I was like, who the fuck are you talking? Excuse me, what made you think that you could tell me that? And he was like, because I have noticed that when you have nothing to do, like when you're idle, that's when the intrusive thoughts get really, really loud and aggressive. And I haven't seen you sink into the dark in a moment. Um, and I just kind of want you to be proactive about that. And I was like, that's deep because that is true. And it's literally, even if you went to church, it says idle time is the devil's time. When you have nothing to do and you're just sitting there, what do I do? What do I have to? Even if it's a vacation, if you're somebody who already gets intrusive thoughts that make you feel guilty for resting, relaxing, taking your time, then being on vacation doing nothing is going to stress you the fuck out. So, personally, I have noticed and I'm aware that when I have too much time on my hands, I get down in the dumps. Because my mind started to say you're doing nothing, you're just a waste of person, you're a waste of society. Everybody wakes up and go to work. Even if I have been working and this is like literally paid vacation, I am like, okay, I'm gonna get up today, I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna try to go to the store, I'm gonna make sure girl, relax, relax, relax. Oh my god, that's quiet love. My younger brother has this thing where at a certain time in the night, if he sees me like after 11:30, he's like, aren't you supposed to be in bed? And by the way, again, he's my younger brother. Why does he do that? Because he's also aware that if I don't get enough sleep, my brain be slap boxing me. The voice in my head like, oh, you ain't everything be just like on 10. I'm sensitive, I'm irritated, I'm irritable, I don't want to talk, I don't want to play. So he knows, like, hey, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Has it ever gotten annoying? At first, I would be like, who are you to keep telling me this shit? But I think that one day I asked him, why do you keep telling me to go to bed? And he was like, doesn't your brain get a little wonky wonky when you don't sleep enough? And I was like, huh, okay, all right. So as you can tell, my default position is defensive. It's aggressive. Like, why are you telling me that? But I've learned to ask people in a way where I am not assuming things. I'm not making up stories. I'm not creating a narrative in my mind that permits, allows, and conduces to me being in a negative state. When you ask for clarity with an open mind, hey, why did you just say that to me? Like, I asked this guy, when we first met, you used to want to go on dates every week. He did every weekend. But since you came back, you come to my place, we buy food, we cook, stuff like that. What is that? He was, so you don't want to take me out no more? And smile. It's like, that's not the case. I could take you out any day. The thing is, one of your love languages is quality time. Bitch, who are you to say that to me? Who the fuck told you this? Huh? What? So I looked at him like, what? He's like, for real. You know, yeah, one of your like ways that somebody shows you that they care and they like you and they love you is to consistently spend time with you. Not 5 minutes, not 10 minutes, not no, like three. And honestly, when he said that, I looked back in my mind. Every time he comes to visit me, it's not less than 4 hours. Sometimes he's here for 8 hours. Sometimes he's here for like a whole half of the day. He will come up at 6 o'clock and then 6 in the morning he's leaving. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Did he spend the night? Yes. But most of the time, this is gonna keep getting worse. We're not sleeping. We're not doing what you think we're doing. We do sometimes. A lot sometimes. But it's more of we're watching shows that I like. We're laughing, we're smoking, we're rolling blunts, we're doing paintings and talking. It's really quality time. People who take the time to get to know you, get to know your disease, and get to know you in your disease. Mm. I think that we all need that. I think that we all deserve that. I think that in so many ways, if you are somebody who battles mental illnesses, can you guys hear the birds? Mental illnesses, intrusive thoughts, trauma, you don't need nobody to fight your battle for you. That's not what we want. That's not what we're looking for. What we want, what we need, what we're looking for is somebody to walk that walk with us. Just stand next to me. Just stand behind me. Just checking on me every now and then. Guys, I'm sorry. My lips look really dry and it's been bothering me. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to get some. I'll be back. I could hear my African grandmother in my brain talking about, girl, you don't see them ashy lips? You don't see them. You looking in the camera. You don't see them ashy lips? There you go, grandma. Amen. All right. Let's finish this video. So, we don't need people to come and fight our battles. I don't. Like, you can't even. How are you going to fight my battle? How are you going to fight my trauma for me? How are you going to carry my trauma for me? You can't. Right? But I'm going to give you another example. The other day, I was having a lunatic level of migraine. And I think after the time I realized that it was a panic attack slowly coming on, but it was very intense. And I haven't had one in a long time. Not an anxiety attack, but a panic attack. So it was like a heavy wave coming up. The birds chirping was triggering me. I literally remember saying, if I have a gun right now, I will go outside and shoot these fucking birds. Can you imagine trying to shoot birds at 2 a.m. in the morning? What kind of vision you got? I don't have it. I don't have that kind of vision. So what was I talking about? But I remember knocking on my brother's door crying. And I was like, I'm in so much pain. I was like holding my head, crying. Like, the birds, they won't shut the fuck up. And he just like, what? So immediately he was just like, put your shoes on, and drove me out. The moment I sat in the car and closed the door, everything got quiet. I was just like, huh, better. And then he gives me something to put on my eyes to cover them. And then he just drove and we talked. At first, I was just like, I don't want to talk. I want to be quiet. And then eventually, I started to feel better. And then we started to talk. These moments where somebody sees you struggling and chooses to sit with you. He didn't. Driving me out of the house wasn't like coming inside my head and listening and figure. No, it was just, what can I do right now that could help ease it, not fix it, not heal it, but just ease it a little bit. What if I got her in a quiet space? My car. Let's go. One, having people who are willing to do that, because I have other siblings who would have said, put something in your ears and try to go back to sleep and closed their door and went back to sleep. I have siblings who wouldn't even have opened the door and said, "Yo, I was asleep. I didn't hear shit." We all need people who are willing to try. You can't fix my shit. You can't save me, but you can accompany me. You can make sure that I am not in the dark alone. You can make sure that when you hear ouch, you say, "You good? You need help?" That makes a big difference when you're battling these thoughts that tell you that you ain't worth shit. Nobody loves you. You should just go ahead and yourself. When you have thoughts that make you compare who you are to like siblings, I don't know, people in the world, and you don't have a single person in your entourage, in your actual life, that is willing consistently to step in your mess with you and just sit there. When you call 911, they send EMTs, right? EMTs have a limited ability of things that they can do. The person who saves you is still the fucking doctor. They still take you to the doctor, right? So when you call for help, you're not calling for healing. You're just calling for help. I just need somebody to come right now because these voices are slap boxing me. And when you are here, these voices cannot get this loud. And when they're not that loud, I can reconstruct the truth for myself. Masking is hiding what you're really feeling. It's pretending to be okay because you are in public, because it's easier that way. Masking, actually, let's look at the definition of masking. How about that? Define masking psychology. Masking refers to hiding your authentic self in an effort to gain greater social acceptance. The cost of camouflaging your true personality and emotions can add up exponentially, causing you to experience a sense of loss, anxiety, and depression. Wow. Let me read you. It says three examples of personality masking. Because sometimes you hear things and you're like, do I do that? Do I have that? Is that me? Am I the problem? So let's see what we can learn real quick. What is masking? We already read that. Give me a second. I'm just trying to see what is like important to read. I'll read this little paragraph. In many cases, a set of learned behaviors goes on to compromise a person's masking habits. To comprise a person's masking habits, so to make up your habits, right? Personal experience. People experience rejection or bullying at a young age and modify the way they express themselves for an extended period afterward, potentially through the rest of their lives. Damn. Increased stress, depression, and anxiety are just some of the potential effects of masking. In extreme cases, some people develop personality disorders as well. Here's why. Because when you don't express what you're actually feeling, it starts to just weigh on you. And that's why some people who have depression say like, oh, I feel heavy, because you're carrying a lot emotionally. And they say heavy energy versus light energy. When you release that shit, you feel lighter. When you go to the bathroom and you take a dump, your stomach gets smaller and you feel like a little lighter, right? Dump that shit out. All right, let me read you three examples of masking behavior. I don't know if I still have a little migraine, but right now the birds are annoying me. Number one, No, I'm going to read a little part first. Masking manifests in various ways for different people. Here are three common examples of how you might hide your true identity. Number one, you're changing how you express yourself. Number two, hiding your authentic self. Number three, making light of your stress or distress. Number one, changing how you express yourself. Changing communication patterns is one of the primary outward ways people mask who they are. You might change your body language, your tone of voice, or your facial expression around specific people or in certain situations. Perhaps you try to force yourself to make more or less eye contact depending on the person. Number two, hiding your authentic self. Making behavior obscures Masking behavior obscures your natural personality. I promise you, I know how to read. For example, in certain social situations, you might pretend to like different things than you actually do just to fit in. Perhaps you find yourself laughing at jokes that you don't find funny. When it comes to autism, masking specifically, people with the condition might feel the need to hide the entirety of their true selves in every social interaction they have. Damn, that must be exhausting. Lastly, making light of your distress. Humor can act as a protective shield against bullying and social discomfort. You might feel the urge to self deprecate whenever you're in the limelight. For instance, maybe you jokingly refer to yourself as a loser because you're afraid someone else might call you that first. Americans, y'all do that a lot. Y'all call yourself weird names all the time. I'm such a loser. I'm such a fat bitch. I'm such an ugly bitch. Really? Really? That's how you feel? Okay. Pretending to feel positive emotions rather than negative ones is another prominent form of masking. Reasons people mask their emotions: for financial purposes, for relationship dynamics, and for social acceptance. How to overcome masking: advocate for change, learn to accept yourself, speak to a mental health professional. So that's masking in very clear terms. Is that you? Do you mask? So when I want you to first figure out, now that you know what masking is, do you think that you do mask? If you do mask, start observing. When are you masking? What are the situations? Who are the people around you when you are triggered to start masking? And then try to stay away from it. If it's a situation that forces you to mask, find out why. What is triggering me? Why it's triggering me? How can I remedy to it? When did it start triggering me? Where do I feel it? Some people feel it in their jaws, you can feel it in your throat, you can feel it in the middle of your chest. Where do you feel it? Journal, answer it over and over and over and over for like maybe 20 episodes. And then go back and read and start to highlight things that are repeating. And like, oh, okay, when I'm at work around Deborah, oh, okay, which be triggering me, huh? When I am talking to my brother and he's like, oh, that shit ain't even serious, nigga. You really think that you got anxiety? You funny. And I'd be like, I know, bro. I just be saying that shit too. That's masking. What's funny about that? Yeah. So, I hope that you took something from this video. I want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe. The birdies, they're saying hi to you. They're singing songs to you. Um, right. I'm listening to some affirmations right now. Um, write some affirmations to help you come back to yourself. I am safe. In my body, I am safe. Wherever I go, I am safe. I surround myself with people that make me feel safe. I deserve to be and feel safe. I realize that I am safe. I can protect and defend myself. I am safe. My belongings are safe. My projects are safe. My mind is safe. My loved ones are safe. Safety is my name, baby. Start rephrasing these things in your brain. The more you speak them, the more they become automatic in your mind. The more they become automatic in your mind, the more natural it is to replace negative thoughts. You cannot replace negative thoughts like you are replacing a pair of shoes. Like physically going in there, finding it, putting one. No. You're just going to have to find a way to automatically drown out these bitches because they're not gonna stop coming. They're gonna keep coming. I watched a TED talk the other day that said that we have about 70% repetitive negative thoughts that we don't even create. They just keep coming up. Are you sure? Are you serious? This is stupid. You dumb. You look over and over per day. So are you gonna sit there and listen to 70,000 negative repetitive thoughts all day? No. You can turn on a speaker with just positive messages drowning these bitches. I am gorgeous. I am safe. I am so whenever they come, are you sure that I am gorgeous? I am safe. They just go back, boom, bounce off. Bounce off you. Eventually, these affirmations become your natural internal dialogue. When anything negative pops up, your mind immediately grabs it like, oh, not today. Not in this bitch. Not on this soil. Go. I hope that you learned something from this. Thank you for watching. My name is Estelle.